So are you good with us watching the video to start?
Hmm?
So, do you want to watch the video to start?
Yes.
Okay, let me figure out full screen. There we go. Alright, so before we get into this, absolute masterpiece. I just realized I'm not in the right place. Alright, now we can judge her accordingly. Sorry, I had to move my VTuber.
Good.
Also, if we have extra problems today, just know that it is storming like hell out there. Well, it's not too bad now. Like it's kind of gotten better.
Why won't you install? I'm telling you to install. Listen to me.
So today, as the title suggests, we're going after Gail again. I don't have much else to say. We're just... So, this is her series of PDFs. We do have the PDFs pulled up on our respective devices.
Yes, and I will be listening in while I'm reading this first one.
But we're starting with, the video.
Alright, I'm going to be doing something a little different today. I want to show you the PDF that I made.
Oh, she's so bad at this. But
Yes,
she's
she
old,
is.
so... Look, the being bad with the computer thing, we can just
this is that
say she's old.
Drive, and there will be a link. First of all, let me show you how the Google Drive is organized. I renamed the titles to all of my stories, and I put Perfect Penis on there because that helps to prevent evil people from causing problems.
What?
Oh!
So, here they are in date.
Huh?
Back it up. I only heard that she put perfect penis so that people don't try and invade it.
I renamed the titles to all of my stories, and I put Perfect Penis on there because that helps to prevent evil people from causing problems.
That's a new one on me.
Here,
I didn't know that was a thing. Did you?
What was the thing?
What she just said.
What, evil people trying to invade her
No.
computer?
The word... Listen one more time.
I renamed organized. I renamed the titles to all of my stories, and I put Perfect Penis on there because that helps to prevent evil people from causing problems. So, here they are.
I didn't know that putting those words on a Google Doc would prevent
I heard
evil people.
that.
I'm confused. I didn't know that was something that happened.
I didn't know that was something that people have problems with.
I didn't know that could stop it.
It doesn't, believe it or not.
Exactly. That's what I thought. Apparently it does, though. I don't understand. I understand nothing. Come on, let me... Thank you.
Let me show you the PDF I made. First of all, I want to show you the PDF.
There's so many
I'm going to have a link
stories.
to the PDF.
There's so many of them.
But the PDF is right
They're
here.
awesome.
So let's go ahead and...
And for what? Like, why?
Okay. Word counts for finished Gail series stories.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's nothing if not consistent, though.
Well, because I'm going to scroll down now. Now the stories are in date order, okay? And if you
Okay.
click on, I have a link on each one. So if you like click on, let me see if I can get it here. If you click on that, that'll open you up to
So what I need to know
there's
is if these are
pen
supposed to be
pals.
like real stories.
Okay.
Like, is this Gail's Bible?
This might. Well.
That's what
no.
I need to know. Is this basically the Bible of Gail? You know what I mean?
Okay. Hold on. So this isn't her Bible.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm still reading the first one. She's read the Bible.
Yes.
She was like a diehard Christian back in 1989 or 1990.
Right.
Yeah, so that one that she has open, it explains how her husband's supposedly abusive. I only say that's really bad. I only say supposedly because because of the way that she has acted and said things about her home life previously. But this is saying that she believes that a wife's place is in the home.
Right. That's not an unusual sentiment. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. Now y'all are stuck with me. So everyone, basically so far, she might explain it there. What I'm gathering oh. Whoa.
What? Sorry, I left for a minute.
She could cry all night, and so... Though he helped with housework, Gail was a full-time homemaker and married him, explaining that a wife's place has to be home, fully believing that for her dream man to love her.
Right.
And this guy actually has a problem with her just being at home all the time, feeling like she doesn't contribute financially to the household.
Which is a totally valid point. She doesn't.
She needed to be a keeper at home, as the Bible taught. At least he apologized if she cried enough, but the apologies became meaningless when he continued to say and do things that hurt her heart and denied her as a person. It was like he just wanted to fake like he cared, but he really could care less about Gail's feelings. This is so poorly written. Oh my, it's making my brain struggle a little bit. She could cry all night and he'd tell her, "Shut up, I want to go to sleep," then pull the covers over his head to shut her out and knock out and fall asleep. Then
This is like
that's
really
rhetorical.
Nice.
No, that's not rhetorical. That's redundant. Within 5 minutes. Making love to a mechanical robot offered, and then just a quick jump, by the way, to making love to a mechanical robot offered her no thrills. Fortunately, her strong sex drive gave her some orgasms after she stimulated herself enough with the transaction after the transaction was over. It took him forever to climax, and that helped her slow response as well. She was just a typical woman and needed... I'm getting a little uncomfortable reading this.
That's fair. You don't have to read it.
Cool. You can see it later. It's not... But
Nice.
she has... So what this says is it's a similar sentiment to how you and I feel about it, but for completely different reasons.
And I wouldn't really particularly care for sleeping with a robot either.
Oh no, it says... So this one I'm fine with reading. He never complained about the sex, and it was good the first year because she'd never had it before and had a strong sex drive. So it was just enjoyable to have sex. She'd never had it before, her husband. There is one thing, I don't know why she keeps on reiterating that she had a strong sex drive. Or has.
Girlie, that doesn't matter in the slightest. I mean, I guess it matters a little bit, but not really. I guess maybe she probably feels like women aren't supposed to have one at all, so she's like, look at me, I'm different. I enjoy intimacy with my partner.
It was that random, like, short, those, like, few paragraphs, and now it's back to being about housekeeping. I don't know why it was that random veer.
I'm so sorry to everyone seeing my VTuber tweak out. She doesn't like seeing me, the camera does not like it when I try to drink or eat.
Man.
And I'm snacking while I'm listening to this.
Yeah, it's smart. You're good. You can continue playing stuff now.
Okay.
Oh, lost connection. Reconnecting.
What
This is
row?
the first story. So they're in date order. This was when, yeah, so that's what happens. Now, you might need to right-click. It'll depend on your browser, but if you open these up in a
Thank
browser
you for teaching
like
us how to use a computer,
Google,
Gail.
Opera, Brave, or whatever, it should work. Let me get back. And I set it up so they can open up in a different window, but it may not work that way. You might need to right-click. So, let me take a look here. But yeah, I created a PDF for each story title below. If you click on the link, it will give you that story's PDF file that opens up in another window. The total word count for the entire Gail series right now is 694,200.
She's written more since she posted.
The first one.
Oh,
covers
fantastic.
My life in 1989
She writes more.
1990 when I
Yeah, because it's at like 708,000 now.
Damn.
Also, if everyone sees me looking down, I'm looking at it on my computer that's right in my lap.
Dang, she writes more than I do, and I actually write books.
At least you're good at it. This is shit.
True, I am good at it.
I know I keep on, like... It would... I wouldn't be able to write as much as she did, but I would be... It would take me a bit longer as well, but I would write significantly better.
Well, actually, wait, how many words did you say? Give me a second.
708,000.
708,000.
Yeah, I'm rounding up. If you want the precise number, I can give you the
Never
precise.
mind. I haven't written that much.
Yeah, the precise number is 707,938.
Actually, if you count the fan fictions and the SCP Foundation short stories... No, hold on. That's where I got my start with writing, though. So if I count the fan fictions I've written, I'm admitting this to the public.
Hold on, guys.
Watch this be the one that goes viral, too. Anyway, the SCP Foundation stories that I've written, and, like, the random short stories and poems that I scrapped, I probably have written at least close to 700,000 words.
Wait, hold on, everyone. Basement concentration camp. Jesuit Empire strikes true love.
Oh no! Hold on.
Okay, so maybe she's not with Brent at this time because one of the later ones say Gail and Brent's hometown.
Yeah, but the very, very last one.
Gail divorces Jesuit agent. Oh yeah.
Is the God's R-word,
yeah.
Brent Spiner.
Yeah, I noticed that. And so the thing that really caught my attention is I was just looking at the word count. Universe on verge of destruction, Battle of the Gods, Satan beats up Jesus, Tulsi Gabbard usurps President Gail. I thought you were vice president.
No,
Lizzo murders Gail's stepdad.
I'm interested in enemy of my enemy's friend.
I'm interested in Keanu's sex dummy lost.
I'm also... There's so many things to be interested in.
Quebec trial. I like how there's just like an almost 10-year gap in some of these.
Can we talk about how the 2022 Battle of the Gods is the biggest one on here at 67K?
Hold on, there's another one. It says 2012 to 2022 to 2024, The Unwanted Lover. These timelines don't make any sense. You said that you did it in chronological order, but this one has 2012 to 2022 to 2024. It technically should have been moved up. I'm just going to critique all of her bullshit. Sorry. I'm ready to listen now.
Okay.
Wrote Brent Spiner at his Star Trek The Next Generation fan mail address. And that's when our relationship started. This
His
one
what?
is 11,137 words.
She can't be serious,
The
right?
next
Like, she
one
genuinely
is
can't be?
Okay,
No
if she
One
actually
Is
does go
Alone.
through each
And this is
title
when the
and how many
Jesuits
words.
started attacking me because I was writing Brent Spiner and he was reading my mail. Yep.
Wait.
Okay, so this is
And,
before she got
yeah,
together
they
with
did all
Brent
sorts
Spiner.
of nasty stuff to
Okay.
me. They were attacking my son.
Okay.
And you just click on the link here, okay? And it'll take you
Wait,
right to it.
Jesuits are attacking you. Aren't you the Jesuit queen?
173 words, that one.
I don't know. I still don't think she knows what that word means.
I was saying, don't you remember her saying something about her being the
Yeah.
Jesuit? Okay.
No,
I just want to make sure that wasn't just a me thing.
No. Recap for anyone who doesn't know. So, long story short, our quote-unquote Jesuit queen here. So for some reason, she both hates the Jesuits and is also their leader.
Mm-hmm.
You can go ahead and try and tell me how that makes sense or whatever the hell, but it doesn't, and you can't tell me it does.
Oasis of Dreams, our relationship was growing, 1991, 1992. Brent actually talked to me on the phone. He didn't identify himself as Brent, but I recognized his voice. I also talk about in these
Okay.
you know, how he made his music album.
Voices through the phone sound different than...
On it. Well, some of them do, some of them don't.
To me, they sound different.
They don't always sound different to me.
How long the document is. Yeah, but they are in date order. In other words, according to the Pen Pals happened first, then No One Alone happened first, and Oasis is pretty much in date order. The next story, Jesuit Empire Strikes True Love. A very detailed story about Laurie McBride's rape of Brent Spiner.
Okay.
I actually
Wait,
started going into it, I think, in Oasis of Dreams, and then I covered it more in 1992. Very detailed, much more detailed than the movie I made. This one is 20,065 words. I also went into the point of view of Paramount Studios and Brannon Braga, who was working as a Jesuit at that time, trying to sabotage the growing love between me and Brent Spiner. Yeah, in 1992, that's when the first Laurie McBride clone attacked Brent.
Clone?
She's good now, but back
Yeah,
then
exactly.
her job
Clones
was to
don't
break
exist.
Brent up. And she sure did cause a lot of problems. It's a miracle Brent stayed alive with her. Yeah. Okay, the next one, Basement Concentration Camp, 1992 to 1993. This one covers a story where Laurie McBride actually tied up Brent in his own basement. Yeah. Oh yeah, this really happened. Okay, this is
I don't believe you.
17,605 words. You can get into that one. Northridge Earthquake.
I bet they're doing a
This is an
role
interesting
playing. You
story.
are the
These
homebreaker.
are all in
Yeah.
time. They're all in event order. In other words,
Listen, let people be
it's kinda
freaky
like
if they want to be
chronological.
freaky
In
in the confines of their own home.
1993 to 1994, Jesus actually
Yeah, in the
sent
confines of their own
Northridge
home,
Earthquake.
sure, whatever.
Yeah. It was really interesting because in this earthquake, it basically hit Hollywood.
Why are
It was
you-
like a judgment on Hollywood for what they were doing to me and Brent. And what was interesting about this earthquake, which I point out in this story, is that
I'm so confused.
it got so close to Hollywood. Yeah. This is a fascinating story. So then the next one is Gail and Brent's hometown.
Why does it say you're
I
playing Call of
actually
Duty right now?
120
Huh? No, I'm not.
stations.
It literally just popped up on my
next
screen
station
that you're
was
playing Call of
Houston,
Duty.
Where Brent's from.
This is how I
Basically,
run my
Houston. I
stress
lived in the
test,
Houston
actually,
metro
because I don't
area,
play it. I
and
run my
this
stress test on my
covers
PC
life.
by loading up Call of
And
Duty and
since,
making sure it
Brent was
works.
in my life at that time, and I was living in his town, I decided to do do research for my novel Silver Skies, and I went out and visited synagogues, and without realizing
I
it,
kind of
I
hope that you
actually
can see that on
visited a
stream, like it has it in
synagogue
the corner.
where Brent went to school. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and his mother Sylvia was a member of one of the synagogues that I visited, and I discussed that
All right,
in
so I
this
can't use it
story.
for
This
stress
one
tests
is
anymore.
Gotcha.
26,934 words. You can just click
It's
on
actually
it
like
here and get right
it
to
doesn't
it.
work.
The next story was when I found out about Laurie McBride. I got disgusted with Brent Spiner then. I thought, because I was a married woman at the time, and I just thought, oh, I thought he respected my Christian standards, and I decided to take an interest in Franco Nero. And believe it or not, they had a wiretap on my phone at that time,
No,
and
they
No,
did
they
Franco
did
not.
not.
was interested in me. Yeah, this one is 17,518 words. So I had a relationship with Franco Nero during this time,
Dude,
1996 to 1998.
I don't believe a single word that she has said.
Okay, I don't think it did on your end, but on my end, we said no, no, they did not at the same time.
I'm sure we did. That. Oh crap! I just exited out of my live stream. I don't know if I actually exited out of the stream itself. I think I just.
Okay, the stream's still working on my end because I'm monitoring. I have like so many things up at once. Just making. I'm running diagnostics, guys.
Yep.
My head.
There we are.
Dirty.
I have it back up. I like having my my analytics up so I can have my live chat easier to access.
Oh, you and Blake are gonna kill me if you see how my PC's set up right now.
Ew, gross.
Oh no, I'll show you later.
I don't even know what it is, but I can already guess that it's gross.
Oh yeah, I've made it so I made it to where there's like a diagonal thing that meets on my thing. Very descriptive, I know,
Mm-hmm.
but it'll all make sense if you ever see it. Ah, that actually made me jump a little bit. Okay, so Frank Nero, which just sounds like a play off of Robert De Niro.
Mm-hmm.
I need to. So, Frank Nero. I'm gonna look this guy up. You can continue what you're doing.
Okay.
Yeah, in fact, I'm the one who encouraged him to get back with Vanessa Redgrave, which he eventually did.
He's an Italian
Years
actor.
after my relationship with him. I had a
Oh,
long-distance
okay.
relationship, pen pal, kind of like wiretap phone relationship with Franco Nero.
Wait,
Yeah,
who did she say that she convinced him to get back with?
a relationship with Franco Nero
I just
during this
turned
time,
it back.
1996 to 1998. Yeah, in fact, I'm the one who encouraged him to get back with Vanessa Redgrave, which he eventually did
Bullshit.
a couple years after my
Because-
relationship with him. I had a
No,
long-distance
because-
relationship.
That is his spouse since 2006.
Yeah, but this happened in 1996, 98.
Yeah. Oh, that does say 98 as the last one. Might be. All right, then I'll do Frank Nero and Gail, whatever her last name is.
Okay.
Pen pal, kind of like wiretap phone relationship with Franco Nero. Yeah. So
I don't believe that for a second.
518 words. Of course, Brent was still in my life, but I was disgusted with him at this time, not understanding that Laurie McBride was a Jesuit agent. Okay, 1999.
I still can't
2000,
decide if
back
she
in
likes the
Seattle.
Jesuits or not.
This story covers how Jesus spoke to me. Okay, 20,497 words. A lot of things happened. Boy, I had an avalanche of problems. The Jesuits were attacking me left and right. It's all covered in this story. And then Jesus spoke to me in a still small voice and told me that Laurie McBride was a Vatican agent. At that point, Brent became a hero.
So she knows the Jesuits are connected to the Vatican.
I dated him back as my long-distance lover. Yep, that was in December 1999. All sorts of crazy things happened. This story goes into it, 20,497 words. finally,
But what else does she know?
Jesus told me in a still small voice. This was about
Jack
the
shit,
same
probably.
time that I learned that Lori was a Vatican agent or a Roman Catholic agent. That if I
Okay.
did not divorce my husband, I would die within a couple of years. Yeah, so I did. It was very difficult because I did not have a job. I was a 100% homemaker and mother. I went through a very
So, recap. If she did not divorce her husband, she was going to die.
What?
You
Also,
didn't.
could not have been a couple of years. They reunited in like 04 or 05, and that's like almost a decade later.
I don't think you heard anything that I just said.
My
Or-
what is to the recap that you did?
I didn't start the recap.
Okay, well, I heard the thing about how she didn't divorce her husband.
Alright, give me a second. Give me a second. Sorry, my headphones got partially disconnected. Boop boop, fixed. If she did not divorce her husband, according to this Vatican agent, excuse me, if she did not divorce her husband, she was going to die.
That doesn't sound right.
Obviously, it doesn't sound right. The Vatican doesn't believe in divorce.
Yeah, wait a fucking minute. Also,
Wait, did you not even think of that? Did you
no,
not
I didn't.
even...
I legit was thinking. I was like, she was a part of the Catholic Church. This whole time, I was like, I don't believe that she's a part of the Catholic Church. Also, he was romantically involved with Vanessa Redgrave during the 90s.
I love how you were so focused on that, you forgot the whole
I had
part.
to debunk some shit.
I love how you got so emotionally invested in that part that you completely forgot that the Catholic Church does not believe in divorce.
Yeah, no, that's what I thought about in the beginning. So I thought to myself, I was like, maybe she wasn't actually part of the Catholic Church.
But now, supposedly, the Catholic Church is, demanding a divorce.
That part I didn't hear, and that's wild as shit. Take it from a theology buff.
Yeah, I'm nothing if not confused.
And the Vatican wouldn't ever, and that I know of, the Vatican themselves wouldn't do that. Maybe an envoy?
Even then, so supposedly this girl, this woman works for the Vatican. Not Gail, her opponent. All of her ops are Jesuits who work for the Vatican. So, I'm so fucking lost.
No, the Vatican, as the seat of the Catholic Church, does not recognize divorce and therefore has never demanded one. It does, however, focus on annulments,
Yeah, annulment?
which basically just means that the marriage.
I know what an annulment is.
I was saying it for the stream.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I thought I was talking to the people. No, but in this case, I was actually saying it for the stream, just in case someone didn't know what an annulment was.
I didn't realize there were people who might not know what an annulment is. My bad.
I didn't.
I forget. Really?
I forgot. So I knew at one point, but I forgot about it for a bit. We have to remember how much I forget because of the migraines.
No, I forget that that's not common knowledge. I'm sorry.
Weren't the Jesuits the people who broke off from the Catholic Church?
No. They're the Catholic Church's
No, they're the Roman Catholic Church. They're the Roman Catholic Church.
So, no, the Jesuits are Catholic missionaries, basically.
I'm gonna be honest. If I was a part of the Catholic Church, I hope I'm a missionary, so I get to at least see the world.
Okay. I mean, you're just not the type of person that I would expect to join the Catholic Church.
Oh, I'm not.
Cool.
If that was my role in life, I'm saying if I was like forced into it or something.
Okay.
Oh. What am I talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about, honestly.
How do I tell how many people are watching your live?
It says that I have one. It keeps going between 1 and 2 viewers. That's fine.
Not your little guy screaming with the mouth open.
Ah.
The silence. Are you just opening and closing your mouth
Very
now?
nasty divorce.
Yeah.
It's all in here. 24,669 words. Okay. After the divorce, I was hoping that Brent would marry me, and the Jesuits did 9/11 to make sure that didn't happen. Okay.
Whoa. Hello?
So, any thoughts?
Hello?
Hi, yes, hello.
There you are. Sorry, I heard the glass move across your table and I couldn't hear you speak for a second. Any
Nothing.
thoughts? Yeah,
I was about to say, nothing moved across my table, but okay.
Oh, cool, because it sounded like... No, here, it sounded like this.
Oh, yeah, that's my drawer with my...
Oh, I represented that with this glass bottle.
Oh.
So, my thoughts on the matter are... Is she insane? Because I thought that... This is going to be a really bad joke. I thought that Bush did 9/11.
Yeah, I thought that was the conspiracy, yeah.
Please say something. I'm
So,
being uncomfortable. Silence.
dude, I've been talking the whole time.
Oh, great.
Don't you fucking start Discord. Don't Discord fucking start.
What was your response to what I said?
I was saying, yeah, I thought that's what the conspiracy was.
Yeah, okay, so we were on a similar page.
Sorry, this is why I'm starting to get a little iffy about streaming on Discord with you. Because...
Fair enough, because whenever we do the stream together, that typically works perfectly fine.
Yeah, but for some reason lately, Discord has just been, no.
Discord's gone. Fuck you.
Input, blue snowball, output.
Well,
Yeah, that's all good.
It's also typically been fine whenever I've done it on my PC, but I've done it on my phone the past 2 streams.
Oh, so that's the problem.
Maybe. Here, you just won't get any video, but I'll try on my PC real quick.
Num num num.
Num num?
Yeah. I can hear you so much better.
No, don't. I actually thought that my phone mic was better.
Well, it's louder. I don't know if it's quote unquote better, but it's louder.
Oh, this is louder.
Yeah.
It might be because the mic is right up to my face.
Yeah, probably.
Because I'm not gonna sit at my phone and have it and have you just see my forehead all stream.
I'm just glaring into your forehead aggressively. But you can't tell because all you can see is my avatar.
Yeah, so I'll tell you this. From my side, whenever I made the comment about your avatar, just the open mouth is funny to me.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear you say anything in response. I just looked at your stream and I only saw you just opening and closing your mouth.
I hope you...
Like a wide open your mouth.
I hope
like,
you know that I have been talking this entire time.
That is... I can hear you so much better now.
So that was the problem?
I don't want to say yes because I thought it was a genuinely good idea to do it on my phone.
I mean, it just didn't work.
Yeah. Looks like I actually have to spend money now.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I was trying to use that to bypass spending money.
Yeah, it didn't quite work, did it?
I, we thought it did.
So,
Anyways.
here's the thing. Should we drop this and read the 9/11 article here?
It's just that I'm not. I don't already have it pulled up.
No, I do too. But I meant, like, read it out.
Wait. Biggest question. Why is it from 2001 to 2002? It happened in one day.
Don't even worry about it.
Here, we're gonna take turns reading a paragraph.
Okay.
Do you want to read the first paragraph?
Hold on. Beep, 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 beep.
I'm host. How do I close this? Leave activity. It was pretty crappy, I'm gonna be honest.
The quality on Watch Together?
Yeah, it was. So I don't know why, but
The problem is,
it was as if it, like, took all of the bandwidth, or like, it's as if Discord stole all of the RAM in my CPU. Which is impressive because you know that my PC is decent.
Yeah. Excuse me. Excuse me.
All right. Who's getting first
All right.
paragraph?
So you wanted me to read the first paragraph?
Yeah, and then I'll read the second.
All right. Cool.
Because I feel like that might be fun. Might be.
Keyword here is might be.
I was about to say that.
Let me just... Alright, so... Alright, class.
Class.
I'm sorry, the joke was right there. So...
It was.
Little bit of a disclaimer. I don't believe this woman's insanity for a second. And neither should you. The content we're about to get into is not gonna be very fun. Well,
Do you
okay.
believe that? So you don't believe that she's insane, or you don't believe the insanity that she's spouting?
We both know what I mean. Don't be dense.
It's so easy to do.
I'm aware. I'm actually gonna come over here because I'm watching this video on the left side of my screen. So I'm reading.
The way you moved your character made it look like you walked.
I did.
Oh, okay.
One side to the other.
How did you enlarge?
How did I enlarge? I can get bigger
Take up the
too.
whole screen. Zoom in on a particular part.
Boom. See? I can get big.
I like how you didn't dignify what I said with a response.
I did not. Except now it won't let me move again.
My plan was for your avatar to take over.
Alright, that's an appropriate size for what we're doing. I think.
Alright.
I hope.
I'm good now.
Back to Opera.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Not sponsored, that's just literally the browser that I use.
I forgot that was the browser name, and I went, wait, we were in an opera? That wasn't me being intentionally dense that time.
That's the disappointing part.
Okay, in my defense, I don't think of it as opera. I think of it as the red circle.
Anyway.
Please just read the first paragraph.
It was July 2001. Okay. And Gail sensed that her 78-year-old stepdad, Bill Fuller, a retired Army lieutenant colonel and retailer.
What?
I'm already confused.
Realtor.
No, I know what a realtor is, but...
Oh, I know, but retailer and a realtor are two different
Oh,
things.
I misspoke. I know what that is, and
I'm confused already as well.
retired Army lieutenant colonel. Is that like an actual title, or is she putting multiple titles together as one?
A lieutenant colonel is a thing.
Okay.
But I
That,
wouldn't have said Army Lieutenant Colonel. I would have just given him Lieutenant Colonel, because
yeah.
depending on, well, colonel's in every branch, but depending on what branch you're in, it's easy to tell what it is. Like petty officer is the Navy.
Yeah.
Fireman is might be Marine. I don't remember. I don't care. But yeah, that's a real moniker, but it's a very wordy way of saying it.
Okay, I genuinely did not know that. Had no reason to
I know it
that.
because of Dad.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, and he and I have talked about stuff, especially whenever he talks about certain stories, so that I have so that I have the right, so I know the chain of command whenever he tells certain stories.
Makes sense, makes sense. Was her secret ally against her overly practical and utterly unromantic mother, and that Bill and her mom, unbeknownst to her mom, were staging a trip to Las Vegas in order to return with Brent from Las Vegas so Gail could marry him and escape from her mother into Dreamland.
Why? Okay, I think we missed something. Why is she trapped by her mother?
No, I think we didn't miss anything. I think she just successfully made it out to Dreamland. I think, if nothing else, she successfully made it to Dreamland.
Oh, absolutely. A major battle had been won. Gail was out of her marriage to a monster who didn't care whether she lived or died, and certainly didn't care about her happiness, or even the happiness of her son. She has a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yet Gail was at peace that the monster got custody of. Oh. Why are you at peace that he got custody of the son? Because she somehow knew that meant the empire behind the monster would now leave her son alone. What? Okay, if he got custody of your son, then the monster, quote unquote, your ex-husband,
Mm-hmm.
can't leave him alone. Right?
I am quite confused. I'm gonna be honest. I can't even see that well. We'll go ahead and delete it then. I understand nothing.
Like that, those last two sentences make no sense at all, right?
Right.
Cool. Because it contradicts itself, in my opinion.
At least once.
Alright, your turn.
Now, the evil Jesuit Empire funneled all its forces against Gail and Brent. She felt its fangs as they ripped into her heart and the man she felt she'd die for. Her hero, Brent Spiner. They were even creating moods in Hollywood. A Hollywood star named Robert Blake was accused of murdering his wife. Yeah, Brent was Robert Blake if he dared to marry Gail. Jesuits would murder Gail and make Brent the next Robert Blake. Gail couldn't believe the extent the Jesuits would go to keep Brent from Gail. The Robert Blake case was plastered all over the news. Can I even dignify this with a response? Like, is that something I can do?
No.
So that's not something I can do.
No.
Go ahead.
She risked the streets to right Brent in the past decade, and now was in danger of the streets again. The price she paid to wrench herself from the monster, to feel free, to feel her heart fly in the wind, no longer in the grasp of a tarantula. I'm just gonna start messing with the grammar so it sounds right to me. No longer in the grasp of a tarantula about to inject her with deadly poison. It's venom. It's venom.
Okay. You know what? That's like the least of our issues.
I'm so sorry. That always pisses me off whenever people mix up poison and venom.
Right. No, that's fair. Her son was with his dad, and it seemed the evil empire funneled all its energy onto her and Brent now. The only way to stay off the streets was to live with her mother in Melbourne, Florida. That makes sense. Suddenly, a lot of things make sense. Not an ideal arrangement. Memories of her narcissist mother from her childhood put blots in her dream of an idyllic marriage. That's not how you spell idyllic. That's closer to how you spell some type of that type of acid that I'm allergic to. But anyway,
Yeah.
an idyllic marriage paradise with Brent. How did I figure out that said idyllic?
Because of the Y. You know how dumb people type?
Certainly, her mother, obsessed with bills and respectability, would scorn at Gail's dreams of pure and perfect romantic love. And even worse, that Gail divorced to realize those dreams. I'm sorry, did she just say her mother's a narcissist because she believes in, like, paying your bills? What's happening? Where am I?
Okay.
What
so-
world are we in?
Real quick. I have beef with Google now as well, because I just have beef with everything. While you're talking, I looked up, are all tarantulas venomous? But while I was trying to type, it wanted to autofill poisonous.
Because most people put in poisonous, not venomous.
People are idiotic. I'm sorry.
This is like the least of our issues, and you're over here.
It is. I know. So Gail told her mother she divorced because her husband was stifling her and would not allow her to be the professional woman. That's not true. He wanted you to be that. Oh, no. Hold on. Allow her to be the professional woman, competent and financially independent of any human to sustain them, which seemed her mother's obsession for her daughters. Hold on, A.
What?
That last bit about mother's obsession, that made no sense. But also, your ex-husband wanted you to be financially independent. In fact, his problem was that you were at the house constantly.
Yeah, he wanted help with the bills, but you decided women don't need to help with bills.
Yeah, and you said that you should be at the house. Okay.
Never mind. When we're done reading this, I'm gonna read a small excerpt from one of my books to show you guys how writing is supposed to look.
Yeah, and also I don't understand which seemed.
My thing is what
I think she meant sewn. Like
I
as in like
guess?
seam on jeans, because that's the only thing that I could guess what that word would be, right?
Right.
I don't know. Your turn.
I don't know. Gail actually could care less about money. I wish the rest of the world was more like Gail then. Just kidding. I just don't want to pay bills.
Neither.
Though right now that's exactly what she needed. If she wanted to escape from living with a mother who only cared about respectability and professionalism for her daughter. Her mother always seemed to scorn Gail's dreams of perfect and romantic love, as if to hold such dreams indicated weakness worthy of a firing squad. Baby girl, are you okay?
Me? Oh yeah, her. Yeah.
This feels so like
The evil empire had both Brent and Gail in its clutches, and thus far kept Brent from marrying Gail after her divorce. Gail held on to her dreams of a romantic paradise with Brent with tenacity. What? with tenacity and in secret from her mother, who paraded. This is just a really long run-on sentence.
It is. There's not a single.
This isn't a paragraph. This is technically one sentence.
This is
with
sentence one.
tenacity and in secret from her mother, who paraded Gail to job fairs in order for Gail to find that job that would help her gain financial independence and eventually entrance. What?
Entrance. It says entrance, but it's probably supposed to be entrance.
No, it's entrance, but it's supposed to be open more doors to a respectable profession. Because you wouldn't word it eventually entrance, but
you would not
eventually open
did.
more doors to a respectable position or profession where Gail would never be dependent on a man to sustain her. Besides, the divorce decree said that Gail needed a job within about a year or so. Yeah, probably to pay child support.
Yeah.
In order to pay... Oh, yeah, I was right.
On a
I
completely
could have just
different
finished
note.
that sentence. In order to pay child support. But nobody seemed to want to hire Gail for any respectable job. And certainly not one that would pay enough for the child support she was expected to pay in around a year. Yeah, because you're going to have to pay back... You're going to have back pay of about 12 months.
Mm-hmm. The thing... I was about to say, this is a completely different note, but when our third half gets here, if we're still doing this, you want to just bring him in.
Stream. Oh, I mean,
okay.
yeah, I can. No, I probably can bring him in, but I'd need a dip for like 5 to 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah. I was just saying, like, if... And we can just,
we can
like,
make you feel,
update him live.
Yeah, we can make you feel very cramped and just show up at your tiny office with all 3 of us.
I don't think that would work out very well.
Yeah, I know. But it would mean that we wouldn't have any audio issues.
Right, except I never told the people at my house that anyone's coming over.
That's fine. They've actively told me that they're okay with me popping on by whenever I want.
Yeah, but...
And Dad has seemed lonely enough to get me to try and entice me to stay.
That sounds really bad out of context.
Huh?
Out of context, that sounds really bad.
Yeah, it does, but...
Anyway.
Okay, you know what I mean, though.
Yeah.
Alright, your turn.
I just thought of it because male wife messaged the group chat. Not anything we should... Me too. Not anything we should say on stream, because it's like personal stuff.
Oh yeah, nothing we should. I'm sorry, y'all. There's some things I can't say.
I'm sorry, I don't think they give us... Hi, Proxy, how are you? I was about to say, I don't think they actually care about our friends' like personal problems anyway. Hi, it has been a minute. Anyway, it is officially my turn to read the next paragraph.
I guess.
Gail dutifully went on with her mom on a trip to Gainesville, Florida, and visited University of Florida to investigate their law school.
Pause.
Yeah.
So, Gainesville.
Yeah. So we're doing okay.
Florida.
So we're doing okay. It's been storming pretty bad on and off. But
so University of Florida is in Gainesville.
Okay. Are you just nitpicking every little thing now?
Yes. Here's the thing. You wouldn't go there for a job.
No. She's trying to go to law school. She's trying to...
It's not a law school. It's a public school.
Apparently she's trying to go to law school.
Okay. There might be some law things there, but as far as I'm aware, it's just a normal public school.
True. True, but it's fine. Gail was somewhat serious about law, or studying law, but for all the wrong reasons, as her mother would see it. Not for professional respectability, but to study law to defeat the tyrant empire that opposed Gail's dreams of pure and perfect romantic love with her dream lover, Brent Spiner. So before you continue, though, I'd like let's. So I don't know how long you've been watching Proxy, but basically this woman is absolutely insane, and she genuinely thinks that um that the Vatican is out to get her just for the and she keeps having all these like fake romances, I guess. I think she's just delusional. Gonna be like straight up honest. We're pretty sure she's just really, really delusional. Alright, Umber, if you want to read the next paragraph, you can. I just wanted. I just wanted to make sure everyone's on the same page.
Okay, hold on. Before I read the passage, do you know anything really weird about the spacing?
I wasn't gonna mention it, but I see it.
Why is... No. There's more than 3 different kinds of space. There's more than 4 different kinds of spacing.
I know!
Sorry.
I know, look.
Brent had actually contacted Bill Fuller and was working with him to try to get to Florida to marry Gail. When Bill and... Not saying that. Gail's mother, I don't want to possibly pronounce something wrong, arrived in Las Vegas in... Wait, what? In early July 2001, for a Shriners convention, the Jesuits kidnapped Gail's mother and switched her out with a clone in Las Vegas. That's not true.
Okay.
The real Gail's mom was now in India, with her memories removed, thinking she grew up in India the whole time. That...
What?
If this isn't some weird-ass conspiracy shit, but also, other thing, I thought that Bill was trying to get... Huh?
I'm lost.
I don't know. You go.
Okay. Okay. Brent flew to Las Vegas. Hello?
Sure.
What happened? Did I just... Okay. Brent flew to Las Vegas from Los Angeles that July 13th, 2001, and did board the same flight from Las Vegas to Orlando, Florida that Bill and the Maceo clone were on. Brent was dressed in his Muslim outfit, wearing a balaclava, in case Lori decided to board the jet and try to inject him with brain control drugs. Okay. Okay. He'd bought a home in Daytona Beach for him and Gail to live in after they married. Working with his attorney, they picked a house for him in Daytona Beach that seemed good for Gail and him to live in. It was even all decked out with equipment to keep Lori out of it. So just so you know, just so everyone in chat knows, this is Gail's recount of how the Jesuits did 9/11. So this is some pretty dark stuff.
I'm back.
But, it's also pretty rough and very obviously just out there, as you can probably tell by the wearing Muslim clothes to avoid being injected with brain control drugs. Sorry, I'm choking on the bullshit. Give me a second.
No, you're good. Phil came in asking if I could go to the store.
Oh. Okay, so is it just gonna be me for a bit?
Huh?
So are you saying that it's just gonna be me for a bit, or?
Well, no, I told her I'm streaming. I almost offered it, but then she just got very dejected and said, alright, I'll go.
Oh.
Because apparently I was supposed to talk to her about it, but I don't remember anyone telling me to tell her.
They probably didn't. Since when does it... Whatever. I'm sorry, but your family isn't making sense again.
I know. Sorry, no, I'm just done with being painted as the bad guy. Anyways, we're gonna bypass that so that I don't talk about this on stream. In the meanwhile, Brent watched with pain through the bug. What? hold on. What bugs? Did I miss something?
I don't have any idea.
Did you read something about bugs?
No, I did not.
Cool. Wait. I think it's supposed to be drugs.
Okay.
Because in the last one it said wearing a...
See, that I'll take.
In case Lori decided to go to jet and try to inject him. Oh, wait, no. Never mind, so she didn't inject him.
Yeah. They avoided the...
Brent watched with pain through the bugs in Gail's room and her mother's. That... I can't even try and make that make sense. Working with Bill, Brent had access to Gail through the bugs in her room. He could hear and see her through them. What?
Huh? I don't even...
Does she mean her room was bugged?
Oh, that would make sense. Okay.
But at that point, you wouldn't say bugged. You would say wired.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, how am I supposed to joke about this, you guys? Like...
Gail's mother was unaware of the bugs, though... Okay, you wouldn't put a though. You wouldn't put that comma between the bugs and though. But that's just me.
The way
Or
you're
at least
so
that's
much
what we
more
thought.
worried about the grammar than what's actually happening.
Bill did it on the sly. It's because I don't believe a word of it, so I already know that it's not real.
No, I don't believe it either, but I do kind of genuinely believe that she believes it. Does that make sense? Like, I don't think it's real, but
Yeah,
I think
she thinks
she
that everyone's
thinks
out to
it's
get
real.
here. She thinks that everyone's out to get her. That's a real psychological disorder.
I think she might be some type of schizophrenic, but I'm not a psychologist. I can't make a diagnosis. She just sounds...
Well, so I think that she's caused this a thing of mass insanity or something because of her cult thing, if that's even real. Because if it is, then that means that she's passed her delusions onto other people. Because there was a case of, albeit a small case, of like a family of 5 believing that they were on the run from the government their whole lives because their parents genuinely believed that people were after them even though no one was after them.
Okay.
And there have been a few other cases of that, but it's significantly rare.
I think she believes that the cult that she has around herself is real.
Okay, because that's a genuine thing. Brent might believe it as well. And
I
so
don't
everyone's
think
bought
Brent
into
knows
this
who
delusion.
she is.
What's Brent's full name?
Brent Spiner. I don't know that he knows who she is.
Hold on, wait. So that oh, that's a Shriners convention, not Spiner convention. Okay.
Also, I did a poll in the chat if you'd like to check it out.
Brent Spiner's an actor.
Yeah. That's why I don't think he knows who this woman is.
What's Gail's last name?
Schumer. Not Schumer, but I think that's how you pronounce it.
Schumer?
It's like
Schuler.
Schuler, okay. It's stupid either way.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
What? What
I
is
just
it?
wanted a book about Brent Spiner's time with Star Trek, is what this Reddit post is titled.
Yeah, he's an actor. He might have been on Star Trek.
I loved a Stitch in Time, and so went looking for other Star Trek novels. Then I thought, why not see if Brent Spiner has written anything? A search took me to this. Okay, what's
What is this?
Yeah. Brent Spiner's Flames by Gail Cold Schuler and Brent Spiner.
Okay.
Brent Spiner's first letters to Gail, summer 2011. Wait, if those were his first letters to you, then that means that the stuff in 1990 isn't real. After reading the comments, I tried to do some digging, but found a rabbit hole and scary, confusing information.
Not the scary, confusing information.
Oh, this page isn't found, and it's in a different language. Well, shit, you found her. Gail Cord Schuler is most likely a schizophrenic. and there is actually a restraining order against her from Spiner. She still makes YouTube videos where she thinks Brent Spiner is one of her husbands and flies in a spaceship called the Church of Gail. She's also an wait.
Wait, so the
She's
Church of
Catholic,
Gail,
right?
supposedly? So the Church of Gail is her spaceship, not her church.
Yes. Now get this.
What?
She is also an evangelical Christian who seems to be on a crusade against the Jesuits.
That I believe. That I believe. I fully believe that she is on a crusade against the Jesuits.
Hold on. I'm so sorry. Do you mind if after we read this, or we pause and you play this? Because it's Brent Spiner talking about Gail.
Ooh,
And it's
we
like
might
a
have
3-minute
to.
video.
Let's finish this first. Let's try to get through this first. So
Yeah,
keep
that's
that.
alright.
Keep that. Keep that.
Oh no. Blake sent a 10-minute rant!
Blake!
A 10-minute audio. Sorry, everyone. A 10-minute audio message just got sent to me, and
It
I
got sent to
can't
the group
read
chat.
it. Yeah. Oh, I know.
If you want to
Um,
mute yourself so you can read what our mail wife sent, you can.
No, I can't read it because it was sent in the group chat. I can only listen to it
Well,
because it was sent
oh.
between us three. Whenever audio messages
No, I
get
see
sent
what
to
you're
you,
saying. That I.
for
oh,
some
no.
reason I can't. For some reason I don't get an like a
No,
I don't
because
get, like,
I don't
any
have
of
a
the text.
notification either. Or no, I don't have that option either.
Okay, hold on. I'll mute. I'll be listening to you though, and I'll still
Okay.
send you that thing, and I'll give comments whenever I have them.
Okay, so then since you have a 10-minute video or 10-minute audio clip from our friend, I'm gonna go ahead and just keep reading. In the meanwhile, wait. Okay, no, we already read that. It's time.
Meanwhile, back in our universe.
Honestly, it's time to get up. Her clone mother roared into Gail's room about 7:30 every morning, which had the stuff she got from Seattle. We need to go to a job fair and look for a job for you. Normal human stuff. The rest of Gail's stuff was in the garage at the west and north corner of Mom's house at not gonna give out that address. This was all the stuff that came with her blue 1999 Plymouth Voyager van. Just the essentials, like pots and pans and stuff she'd need to survive in a new apartment, so she hoped, or even better, in a home as Brent's wife. Gail was still in the habit of eating organic food and eliminating foods like wheat, milk, and lots of stuff she thought she was allergic to, and drinking bottled water, a habit she developed in Seattle after getting sick from everything and concluding she had all sorts of food allergies. But, living with her mother and having limited income, she decided to venture into some of her mother's food and found she didn't feel too sick afterwards. Her only income at this time was alimony from the monster, so she couldn't afford to be too picky. Wait,
I'm
what?
gonna text our friend and say, I'm so sorry. Can you just tell me in person?
Okay. Hey, so
that really bad
how
to
is
say?
she getting alimony if he has custody of the child? She would have to pay alimony, not the other way.
She would, but also I'm seeing something about 150. She thinks that $150 a month for car payments is stupid, but I think I think what I have to pay isn't too far off from that. When I have to pay, solely because I will say I've been in a car accident and I have like 2 points at least on my driver's license, and I didn't go to I didn't do driver's ed, and I'm not 25, so mine at like a hiked up rate because of that.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. She also had to make about $150 a month car payments. However, Gail was using credit cards to help finance some of her expensive organic food costs, believing Brent would rescue her soon. The monster swore in nasty letters with horrible English grammar and atrocious spelling. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Talk about a hypocrite. To Gail that he never planned to retire so that Gail would not get any of his retirement income, as in the divorce decree. And
Divorce decree isn't even legal
also,
terminology.
why are the spaces getting larger and larger?
Yeah, they randomly get larger and shorter. I told you, there's over 4 different kinds of spacing.
Dude,
here.
I know. It doesn't make sense,
I think
though.
she's like tapping tab instead of space randomly.
She has to be. Constantly reminded her of her duty to pay child support in around a year. Do you want me to keep going, or do you want to read the next paragraph?
Hold on, you know the money that you sent me the other day?
Yeah, it just went through, I know.
How do you know it just went through?
Because it told me to put my Cash App pin in again, so it could.
I'm really glad I hadn't checked it. Alright, wait, so why are you paying child support while he's paying you alimony?
Cause he has the kid.
Her mother kept the home very clean and trained Gail to wipe down the walls after every shower. The home had a large 1-acre yard. Okay, so if you live in a neighborhood,
right,
typically you have at least an acre.
Okay.
Or half an acre, but it's not. Up until like a decade ago, it wasn't uncommon to find houses with probably longer than a decade. But originally, whenever subdivisions were being made, it wasn't uncommon to find an acre. In fact, part of the reason why there aren't acres now, like in my neighborhood, is because people started selling like half of their acreage so that another house could get built.
Yeah, we're running out of space.
Anyways, the home had a large 1-acre yard, which Gail could see from her bedroom window.
Oh, that's nice.
Of course you could see it from the bedroom window. You're living on the property. Sorry.
She makes me want to bash my head into a wall.
Still used to the Seattle climate, Gail secretly went to the thermostat in the hallway, across from the kitchen near her bedroom. I didn't need to know all that. When her mother was sleeping, and lowered the temperature to about 75 degrees Fahrenheit so she could sleep.
Honestly,
Florida was hot.
Honestly, it's like so much work, and for what? And for what?
You want me to read the next one because you had to read 2?
I mean, I can read the next one.
Huh?
I can read the next one.
Okay.
Her mom and Bill had a subscription to the Melbourne, Florida newspaper called Florida Today. It always landed on their front doorstep or out on their long driveway near their mailbox on the street about 200 feet from the front door. St. Augustine grass, palm trees, and hordes of all types of birds fluttered about their yard. The air had a wet dampness and warmth, kind of muggy, unlike the crisp air of Seattle. Is it bad that I'm tempted?
Today, July 13th, was the momentous day that Bill would arrive home from the Las Vegas convention, and hopefully, Gail would be surprised with Brent Spiner.
I kind of want to skip.
Hello?
Hi.
Nope.
I kind of want to skip some of this. Hold on. Okay, I found the juicy bit. Found part of the juicy bit.
Uh-oh, you already scrolled down.
Oh yeah, there's so much here.
Oh, there's just all filler.
Yeah. So from what I'm gathering, basically...
Hold on, where the hell? 78 pages.
Exactly.
I didn't realize how many pages there were.
Okay, this is getting...
Alright, I scrolled all the way to the bottom. What?
Alright, alright. I want to skip to the part where they talk about the fact the Jesuits did 9/11.
Yes, I'm there.
Okay.
Hold on, hold on. So I'm having to scroll up a little bit because I just scrolled to the bottom and it's here at the bottom, but I have to scroll up. Also, she's gotten so much worse
I see
with
this.
punctuation because there's this thing that says was concerned and it should have been hyphen.
Hold on. Okay, so for the record, YouTube, chat, we do not believe the Jesuits had anything to do with 9/11. Just this crazy woman. Like, she's the one who thinks.
Vladimir Putin's in this.
Yeah, I see that. I'm so confused. What? Hold on, hold on, hold on.
Why does she know the conversation between George Bush and Vladimir Putin? Did they have one of those?
As soon as Vladimir could, he checked his
Allows
spy
Vladimir on
cameras.
his-
Oh
I'm
wait,
just gonna
which
read from
page are
here.
you on?
I'm at 68.
Okay,
62.
okay.
I had to
68.
scroll up almost like 20 pages.
Oh, 62. Okay. Word.
I'm just gonna start reading. Alas, Vladimir on his Russian president jet. He's not a president. He might. No. What?
No,
What is his
no,
moniker?
president is correct. Russian
Presidential,
president is.
and it would be presidential jet. Was surprised to find an obese lookalike of his Larissa, who
What?
died in spring 2000, right before he became Russian president, on the jet with him. The fat clone of his wife plopped herself next to him. You better marry me, or there will be war with the
Y'all
U.S.
seen this shit?
Vladimir jerked himself. We didn't even think Russia had anything to do with it.
They didn't.
Or maybe we did it first, but it wasn't. Okay. Well, Gail was in Tallahassee from November 2001 to December 2002. She would
I'll be
buy
right
a
back.
cassette tape of Bobby Goldsboro singing Honey and listen to it in her small studio. Part of the lyrics were, and it was in the early spring, when the flowers bloom and robins sing. She
All right, where are we at?
Larissa died in spring 2000. This Honey song really resonated with Vladimir. People call him Putin.
Whatever.
Who lost his sweet Larissa in spring. Did he actually? I don't know if that's
I
true.
don't know this.
Do you mind looking it up? Right as he became Russian president, in fact, he would not have taken the presidential job, except Larissa insisted that he do so on her deathbed. So actually no, he's very power hungry. Anyways, so the vastly inferior clone to his sweet wife Larissa, a Jesuit clone that George Bush named Lidmila, which actually, because I already saw a sneak peek, this thing right here is contradictory, because that's saying that he's a Jesuit, laughed at Vladimir's predicament that he was stuck with her as his wife, and her flabs of fat seemed to bounce with her laughter. Larissa's clone had gained quite a few pounds, as Larissa was a bit overweight, but not obese. Larissa's clone, Laudmilla, plopped a marriage certificate on Vladimir's table on the jet, with her signature forged on the document. You get near me, I judo chop you. Vladimir told her, you get near me, I judo chop you, Vladimir told her. Laudmilla was definitely not demure and submissive as Larissa was to him. What? How did the Jesuits make such a quick clone of his dead wife? This monster is
Okay,
recreation
so
of...
she's not dead. She's just divorced. They divorced in 2014.
Yeah, so I had her body somewhat, but certainly not her sweet, submissive heart. Gail suspected Vladimir was a widower and learned about his two daughters from reading the paper and watching the news, but had no idea about Larissa or who his dead wife was, or when she died, or even what her name was. News on Russian presidents was not a big item in the U.S. in 2000 and 2001 until 9/11 happened. Even then, Gail just knew that Vladimir was somehow miraculously single at the time. He flirted with her through his handsome black and white photo in her Melbourne. He didn't flirt with you through the newspaper.
That's it. That's not
paper on
possible.
September
Is
25th,
unless it's just the
2001.
Harry Potter universe, that's not possible.
Yes, he was the heroic Russian president who saved her
Who
heart
would
from the
save her
Jesuits.
heart from the Jesuits?
Vladimir picked up his phone to call George W. Bush as his
Is
jet
this
was
a
about
fan
to land in
fiction?
Washington. I think it is. But his call was interrupted by news flash from. Okay, hold on. This is September 25th. And he's getting like news about stuff that happened on the 11th. American Airlines flight 587, a European-made Airbus A300 crashed on takeoff from New York's Kennedy Airport. The crash happened at 9:15 as a descending jet slammed into a Queens neighborhood. The jet was 74 minutes late because of security. It wasn't okay.
Give me a second. This is how I feel about this.
Oh. Hold on. Vladimir
my brain
blurted
right
into
now.
his phone. What?
Did you not hear all the sounds that just came out of my computer?
No.
Never mind then.
I'm sorry. Vladimir blurted into his phone, George W. Bush. He would have actually used his full name, thank you very much, or he would have just called him Bush. What has happened with this jet crash? And right as I'm about to land in your country, Gail's birthday is September 15th. I don't know why you have her birth year there. And her mother is Japanese. This crash happened at 9:15 your time. Japan Airlines jet nearby. Vladimir then squared off with Bush. And why is there a fat clone of my dead wife Larissa on my jet? So supposedly Vladimir's going to visit Gail.
Okay. Vladimir is going to visit Gail.
Oh wait, hold on.
Holding.
I'm just going back down.
I'm so confused. Thank you, Proxy. I'm so glad you heard the sounds. I felt like it was appropriate. How far are we going down, Bestie?
Her plans to have Brent Spiner or Vladimir marry her and save her finances was clearly not going to work. So, gold digger.
Obviously. Like, I guess I can't be too surprised, but, like, duh. You know what I mean?
The Pentagon, September 11th, 2001, when Brent tried to marry. She thinks that someone's purposely sabotaging her marriages, or her trying to marry people, because apparently Brent was actually trying to come down and marry her on September 11th, 2001. Why the Pentagon? At least she was still alive. Brent was still alive. Vladimir was still alive. She just hoped her health would hold out enough for a job to keep her off the streets. Jesuits knew how to make her sick. It was kind of nice to be away from her nagging mother who didn't share her dreams and thought them impractical garbage. At least she had peace and quiet. She refused to die inside as she had during her marriage to David Schuler. At least she still had her dreams.
I'm so confused.
And as she started off a
anyone else
paragraph with
confused?
"and." Let's just say that.
Yeah. And I feel like that might be the least of her problems. You feel me?
And as she watched Vladimir, yes, I do. And as she watched Vladimir perform for the American public in the American news and play the role of Russian president who came to the U.S. to fight terrorism, who, when he really came to marry Gail.
Gail, sweetie, you're not
His
that
manly
special.
swagger as he descends his jet appealed to Gail.
Like everything else aside.
Courage and daring with heroics turned her on.
Oh.
The Jesuit empire was
Gail.
closing in on Gail and all her men. But the price to pay if
All
they
her
won.
men.
Yeah.
She has so many of them.
An existence to placate the petty and vulgar power brokers just wouldn't do, so Gail would stay in Tallahassee and hoped
Okay.
Vladimir would find a way to work around Jesuit nagsters and could that feels like a slur
Mm-hmm.
and control freaks. She and Vladimir were climbing Mount Everest on opposite sides of the mountain to meet at the top, and Jesuits were cutting off all their trails. But at the bottom of the mountain were snake pits and despair, relationships without heart, and a life of only dark duty, with hissing cobras that strangled her heart and dreams. This must not be.
True
True
love
love
was
was
real.
real. Oh, okay, you were there too. Cool.
Yep.
I'm glad that you said it as I said it.
Me too.
Gail had it with Brent, and now that Gail knew it was possible for her, nothing else would do. It seemed possible with Vladimir. Huh? The world could laugh her to hell, label her as crazy, but Gail refused to give up on her dreams.
She's all the above.
Perhaps George W. Bush, too, was concerned 9/11 was proof of how powerful the Jesuits were.
Who
Somehow
would
she and
not?
Vladimir would rise. It was actually a completely different religion. Gail noticed that Laudmila had a spelling uncannily similar to Lori McBride, with all the L's and M's similar to both names. What? What?
What?
What?
What? Huh?
No. That's a stretch, right?
Yes.
Gail considered sex to be marriage in 2001 and didn't believe Vladimir had sex with Vladimir. No, this was not the woman who gave him his 2 daughters. Gail knew it. His relationship with Vladimir was a Jesuit farce forced upon him somehow. If Gail deserted Vladimir, now he would be devastated. He cared for her.
I'm so confused.
The Jesuits were even brazen enough to make Vladimir's name similar to Lori McBride. Like they thought this was a big joke. Some joke. Crashing jets, terrorism, and murder to keep true lovers apart.
Imagine being
Gail
so
hated
delusional.
the Jesuit obsession. Huh?
Imagine being so delusional you think an entire religion is out to get you in your potential marriage.
Okay, so obviously I missed the thing about, somehow, about, I don't think this is about 9/11 at all, because I'm skimming through it.
Yeah, I don't think it is either. I really thought it was going to be about 9/11.
You want to watch the video?
Yeah, go ahead and you're going to send it to me or you're going to
It's on Discord.
Okay. My Discord wasn't up at all.
Okay. You don't have to stream it. I'll watch it on my end.
No, we can stream it.
Okay. Then I will put it up so that you don't have to. Then I will. Oh my foot. I will screen share. I think that's the word.
Like, this feels like an appropriate thing to share with the class.
Alright, so now I'm going to click this button. Oh, it's so bright. I clicked the wrong button.
Taxes was field.
Your picture. Okay.
You want to make it full
here,
screen for
Andrew
us?
and I are at the PNE today, and we've come to see Brent Spiner.
Yay.
And we're going to ask him if he's
Oh,
ever
he's
heard
the
of
guy
Gail
who played
Porter Stewart,
Data.
And if so, what do you think
Yeah.
of her? So if we do
Okay.
get a chance, and I'm hoping...
You didn't know that he was in Star Trek?
I don't know. It was name. I knew he was in Star Trek because of all this, but like,
We do.
I can't do
So
names.
good luck to me.
I have a very
Good luck
hard
to
time.
you. I love you, bro.
Hold on, one of the comments is, I don't know where it is, but one of the comments said that's, oh yeah, That is obviously a clone. He looks nothing like Data from Star Trek. Look at his gray hair. They can't even get that right.
No, I couldn't. I have a very hard time with names to faces. But once I saw what
Wait.
character he played, I was like, okay, I get it.
I think this person that said the clone thing,
Mm-hmm.
it's somehow related to the Gail stuff because Gail is the only one who I've heard talk about clones.
Absolutely. But is it a joke? Or does this person believe it?
Hello, this question is for you, Brent Spiner. It's an honor to meet you.
Thank you, Nathaniel.
Along with stardom comes a lot of attention, some wanted, some unwanted. And there's this woman named Gail Ford Schuler who's become somewhat of a...
Oh, wait, hold on. Look at his face. Watch his face change.
Thank you, Nathaniel.
Along with stardom comes a lot of attention, some wanted, some unwanted. And there's this woman named Gail Ford Schuler who's become somewhat of an internet meme by devoting this crazy YouTube channel to you. I'm wondering if you've ever heard of her and if you have a response to...
He's really like, oh god, here we go.
Well, you know, nobody here knows what you're talking about except for you. And so I'd be glad to answer you privately about that. But I do know about it. It's only been going on for about 22 years.
Oh my god.
And,
Holy shit!
I've never met her or spoken to her. And she has a very rich fantasy life. And God bless her.
Thank you.
I'm calling the FBI.
Okay, so I just asked Brent Spiner.
So he said that he was going to talk to him privately.
Doesn't necessarily mean that he knows who she is. He might be 100% serious about that.
The question I wanted to ask him about Gail Ford Schuler, I am delighted with his response. A lot of fans are lining up now to meet him in person, but I feel that I'm satisfied, so I'm just gonna...
He said he told you to meet him.
Yeah.
Andrew, what did you think of my question to Brent Spiner?
I thought that on one level it was highly inappropriate, which is why I'm glad that you asked it.
Get over yourself.
He handled it with grace and tact, and basically he assured you that he was very familiar with the situation.
Right. This is way too loud. I need you to turn it down.
He didn't allow it to affect his personal or professional life.
Sorry.
So he came across as a real gentleman, and I think that's a great credit to his character.
He's doing his best.
As a person and as an actor.
If you haven't seen it yet, just Google Fresh Hell, those two words. The first thing that'll come up is my website where the series is on, and you just hit videos and watch the whole thing.
It's free, right?
It's free.
Well, let me look at what French hell is.
Fresh.
Right, Amy?
It's funny.
What?
It's amazing.
What did I do? Well, that's the big question, isn't it?
Germans have figured out.
Okay, I kind of want to know what this one's about. I won't.
Donald Trump is pressure.
Okay, I don't care. I'm gonna look at the Okay, no, all right. All right, there you have it. He knows about her. It's been happening for about 20 at the time. Whoa, wait, when was that video? Visiting site again. All right, so this video is from 12 years ago.
And it was 22 years at that point.
Yes, so, which means that it's 34 years now.
Poor guy. Data, what did Data do to deserve this? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I kind of feel bad a little bit because, like, that is actually one of my favorite characters in all of Star Trek.
You didn't know that it was played by Brent Spiner.
No, I didn't, but now that I do, I'm like, really, goddamn. Poor guy's going through. Look, I'm sorry that I'm bad with names.
I went to look up Fresh Hell, and I don't think it exists anymore.
Yeah, all I found was a comedy series.
No, that is what that is.
Okay.
Oh, it's Fresh Hell, not French.
Oh. That's why you couldn't find it.
Yeah, I typed in French hell.
Oh. Alright, so that's about as much as that as I can take in one day.
Oh.
I'm sorry, but I can't do this anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know I joked about,
Yeah, I don't think Blake's gonna be joining us.
yeah. I know I joked about, reading some of my work to show what writing should be.
Uh-huh.
But I'm kinda ready to dip.
I'll read your book next time I stream. Like, I'll read it on stream.
Oh, you don't gotta do that, but I mean, you can.
What if I want to? What if I think it'd be fun to show
what
my
I need
voices
to do
on the
is
characters?
I need to get back to doing that podcast that I started and have like one episode of. That SCP Foundation podcast that I started.
I completely forgot about it, mainly
Dude,
because you're like, all right.
I
so
also completely forgot about
I'm
it.
gonna, because you had come up to me and you're like, hey, so what do you think about doing a podcast with me? I'm like, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, because I was gonna have you as a voice actor, but then I forgot about it. I only remembered because I got an email from
on a lot of the call and response ones.
I got not an email, a notification from Spotify creators saying, "Hey, your podcast reached 100 views."
I have a podcast?
And then, so I'm like, oh shit, people actually want to see more of that, so I'm gonna get back to doing my SCP Foundation podcast. It's called Obscure Files, and it's found anywhere podcasts are found. In fact, it's right here on my YouTube. If I go through here, you can't see it because I'm not showing it. I'm just going to podcasts. Apparently, it has 101 views.
How many episodes are there?
Just one.
Oh.
That's why I'm so confused as to why people keep finding it.
How did you feel about my accent that I randomly started doing?
Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh, so the accent that you said sounds more natural for me is more of a Norse accent, by the way, not Scottish or Irish.
Well, doesn't change how I feel about it.
And the one that you said I was trying too hard was the actual Scottish one.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's awkward.
If you talk really quick with a little bit of a higher pitch, you already start sounding Norse instead of Scottish.
Anyway. Thank you everyone who decided to stop by for a bit. I hope you guys had fun. I know we certainly did. Kind of. It kind of hurt. But I will see you guys in the next one, or I'll see you over on my Twitch next time I decide to stream on Twitch. So, yeah. Bye!